Volati. Gray storm clouds roil above the sea. Waves crash into the rocks. There's snow that's fallen to cover the disturbed grass where you brought all the supplies ashore. And your family has been sent to the temple. You've made the journey to the coast. The wreckage of the night flower still pierces up from the waters. And you know the strange terrors of the sea awaits.
She methodically begins to strip down for the swim, taking off her gear, uh, leaving.
Is she thinking, oh no, she
And
froze. Wait, start over, you froze.
okay, um, she methodically. But oh wow, I'm lagged. I can see my past self like 2 seconds ago. This is really weird. Okay, um, she begins to strip down methodically as she looks down at the wreckage of the night flower, removing most of her equipment, retaining only the same things that she had kept the last time that they came here: short sword, dagger, coils of rope, the net, and then, as before, she takes a running jump and dives into the deep parts of the ocean, trusting in the strength of her legs to carry her beyond the jagged edges of the rock at the bottom of the cliff. The impact of the icy water takes her breath away for a minute before she begins to pops the transparent bubble hanging at her side over her head and dives down beneath the surface, avoiding the chop of the waves, her skin slowly adjusting to the cold of the depths, and she starts to head relatively quickly toward the lair of the deep lurker.
The last that you were here, this water was filled with blood and sharks, beasts with great teeth could rend your flesh. And there was something otherworldly here in this water. It's overcast on this day, the storm above you. The water's murkier now. Before too long, you hear light clicking in your mind. And then from the murky depths just beyond the outline of the wreckage of the ship, something begins to emerge. You hear a voice. You're not sure if it's in your ears. Is it in the water? Is it in your mind? It's hard to tell. You can almost hear the effort to take an alien mind and filter the thoughts into something that you would understand. It comes out as simple words, deep. Your pain as my pain.
She comes to a stop as the words leach out into the waters and into her mind, unsure of exactly how to address it, aware that it's somehow able to hear her or sense something about her, maybe just due to the connection it had from feeding on her brain, maybe just due to his powers. She says aloud, uh, her voice bouncing back on the interior of the bubble, trying to think it as hard as she can. You know my, you know my pain. You saw it, but I have questions now. Will
Within,
you answer?
within a moment more, the vague shape at the very edge of your perception has become something concrete and real and present. Vibrant pink tentacles flared out around you, the enormous shape of the deep lurker there, only feet away now, gliding silently through the water. its many eyes fixed on you. Ask.
Why did your maid attack the diamond back then, 8 years ago? Was it just there to feed? Is that what you eat? And she pulls at her trousers. After a moment, impatiently, she takes the dagger and rips a hole in it, and you can see this mass of scars stippling around her thigh from her knee to mid-thigh. Pink and long healed at this point, but still visible.
We came to find the road. You can feel, hear the attempt of this thing to translate its understanding of the world into words, into language, something linear, makes sense for your time and your perceptions. Your minds are food.
And if why the and she falters again, trying to think of a way to phrase this, and finally just stumbles on word two. So you were hunting either way, whether you ate our flesh, or is that just the way to get at our minds?
I seem to regard you for a time. You eat things. You eat minds. You eat flesh.
We do not eat minds, not like you. I don't have some memories anymore. We can't do that. We eat flesh. Yes, that is how life happens for us.
For you, death ends.
I didn't understand those last two words unless that was part of the point.
Yeah, well, we'll say that's, yeah, let's say it's both.
She stares blankly at the debugger for a moment longer and then shakes her head and, seeming to find no particular piece of relief in the answer, and says, "The ship, then this one, did you also wreck it seeking food?"
Yes, we feed aboard ship key.
Harun, and she tries to pronounce it as best as this strange idea that forces way into her mind what shape her fleshy mouth can give it. What is that? Why were you seeking it? How did you come here?
Long ago, in your time, we came to find the road to set free our master. We could not find answers. Your blood door is closed. Trap is set. Cannot go back. Open door. I must go home.
Your kind, our kind. She shakes her head. Killed your master, or you just couldn't find him. It.
Words. Small. You see all of the eyes are focused on you. You start to hear a tone, and it grows, piercing, shrieking in your mind, and not images, not memories, but impressions are left you. There's another place. There's water, unending water. There are the scales of a serpent in the deep. There is a flash of an image of a woman with pale hair and dark skin and long tail like a fish or a snake. There's pink in the water. There's the face of your sister, Ishtalan. There's churning waves. There's the harpoon. There's the face of your mother. There's the tower. You find yourself coming back to the moment, the present. They have come for your world. I must leave.
They? The people of the tower? The angel of doors? Is that related somehow?
They have stolen your angels.
She shakes her head, none of this making any sense to her, and she clings to the one thing that she's certain of and says, I don't know what any of this means, but all I know is that one of mine died and one of yours died. And I think I'm happy to leave it at that. And she adds, and if she was important to me, you already took some of what I had of her. Can you give them back?
There's a long, quiet. The creature just drifts in the waves. You can see the surface moving above you, but the water almost doesn't seem to move this deep. I give to you. You open door. Must go home.
I do not know how to do that, but I am helping the people who do. They are my friends, and Esmond is brilliant, as is Eva. I have full confidence that they can find something out.
Friends. Bond. Trust. I give to you. You make friend. Open door.
I cannot make promises of that nature because I cannot Uh, I can only speak of my trust and my faith in my friends, and I will do everything that I can.
You can almost feel your hesitation create a frustration in this creature. Eyes fixed on you, and then the frustration of being unable to communicate. And you feel that tone again, and in your mind again, there's a piercing pain right between your eyes. And there are images that flash. You see creatures humanoid with tentacle faces, purple and gray, from some other place. Across a thousand fields and a thousand towns and places you've never seen. You see the tower in the north. You can feel the draw, as though something important is being pulled toward it. You see flashes of strange creatures in the deep. 1,000 years, 1,000 more of dying, living and dying in captivity. Anguish and pain, and the horror of being imprisoned. And then you're back in the moment.
Is that what awaits you if you don't get home? If they get here? Is that what
They,
awaits all of us?
they are here now. Trap is set. Must not die. Must go home.
I'll help you however I can. And she's uh, begins to she adds in a smaller voice, smaller inside the bubble, however much her thoughts may make it sound, and says, I did not see the portal last time I was here. May I go look at it?
See, learn.
And
I give you seeing. And then you feel that pain begin to build again between your eyes. And this time searing, deafeningly loud, high pitched in your ears, in a tone you've never heard before, and pain racks through you. There are flashes of images in your mind, and difficult to comprehend shapes of things in the deep time that reaches back before the world. And when you come to, the creature's fading into the murky depths. Open door.
she puts her hand up, it passes seamlessly through the bubble and wipes up the blood that just started trickling out from her nose. Looks at it, looks at the water around her, wipes it clean against her face before she takes her hand out of the bubble, and then looks toward. Hopefully, no, I think she had heard from the others where the gate was and from the previous interaction, so she swims over to where it was behind that crescent of rock to look at it.
Yeah, when you arrive there, it's much as they described. It's as though someone has taken a blade and cut a scar through the world. It's burning at its edges, just like the one in the forest. The shape is different, but you can tell in some way it's the same, like a crack in glass, a crack in the world. And it's for you, you could fit an arm through perhaps, but beyond, you just see more water.
She is probably going to do the same thing that she does with all these portals so far and uh, put her hand through.
As you can even begin to approach it, it's cold, but as you stick your arm through, you can feel the a slight resistance as you press through, and it's immediately cold. Just a few seconds of this would freeze your arm. It's as cold as ice, as cold as deepest winter.
She immediately snatches it back, and then tries to grip the edge and uh, pull it apart. I mean, I doubt it'll actually have an effect, but she tests it anyway.
Yeah. Grabbing onto the edge of it is a sensation you've never felt. It doesn't have texture, it's just force that's there, like glass, but the exact temperature of your skin is like almost imperceptible, but you can feel the resistance. And impossible to move.
She thinks about it and recalling what the others, uh, Esmond and Casey had done to the one in the forest. Um, she tentatively screws up her face and spits a little bit of acid poison at it.
Does that like hit the inside of your bubble or the water? How would that?
Oh, good point.
She just
uh,
throws up in her mask.
Having second thoughts about it, she pulls off the bubble for a second and then tries to do it, putting her face as close to the edge of the scar as she can, given as she is unsure whether it would dissipate in the water.
Okay. When normal winter water floods around your face and takes a moment to adjust your eyes, and you spit acid into the current around you, and um, you're not sure if it's because of the situation, but it also doesn't seem to have any effect.
Uh, she sighs, loosing a stream of bubbles that twist upward, and then instead of putting the bubble back on, she strokes toward the surface and begins to make her way in an ordinary swim on the surface of the water back toward the cliff.
Yeah. As you breach through the water, Esmond, you find yourself standing in the workshop. There's a candle burning in the room. Your research paper is spread out on the desk all around you. You're tired. You feel the dry ache in your eyes.
Um, since the battle, Esmond has actually been incredibly tired, and he's been wearing wraps, or he's been keeping his neck kind of closed off, not visible to anybody else. Kind of, especially getting back home, he doesn't want his mom to notice the scar necessarily. But he'll walk in and just kind of announce himself. Mom, I'm home.
It's quiet for a moment later, and you hear a little creak of a door, and Gwen kind of steps out into the hall, and she squints. It's the middle of the night. What are you doing up so late?
Oh, I didn't realize. Sorry. We just got back, and I gotta get to work on this device to close the portals, the tears in the world.
Yes. She kind of squints a little bit. You got back yesterday.
Maybe I'm not getting.
You've been working too hard. I think you need to get to it. I'm gonna make you something warm to drink. You need to get some more sleep.
No, wait. I have to do this, and I need your help. but I also have to do other things to be ready for anything. This that fight that we were in. I need to be more prepared for whatever is going to come for all of us, for whatever we're going to run into, and I need your help for that. But before I ask for your help, Mom, I need you to be honest with me. You don't have to answer every question, but the questions that you do answer, I just need you to be honest with me.
And I'm confused. Did something happen? Something else happen? What's going... Wait, sit down, sit down.
Esmond will sit down, but he just looks directly at her before she has a chance to get herself settled. Did the twins know about me?
What do you mean?
Do they know I come from the tower?
Her shoulders kind of slump a little bit and... Well... Not... No.
Okay. Okay.
Esmond, that doesn't... It doesn't define you.
I know it doesn't define me, but you told me something that was untrue about where I came from, and now I want to know the truth. I don't want to know for the sake of knowing my past. I want to know that you are being honest with me. So, and like I said, you don't have to tell me if you can't or you don't want to, but just tell me that. Just be honest with me, okay?
She kind of shrinks in on herself a little bit, just kind of stung by the wound of realizing that she had hurt you. Kind of crosses her arms over her belly. Okay, what do you want to know?
What were you and Dad doing at that tower?
Oh, Hez.
Just say you can't answer or you don't want to. It's fine. Just be honest.
We worked for someone who was bad. That's all I want.
The chronomancer, right?
She looks a little surprised and... Yeah. Wait, how... Esmond, you didn't tell the verdict, did you?
Do you know what he was doing?
What do you mean?
You said you worked for him. Do you know what it was that you were doing for him? What his goal was?
All kinds of things, Esmond. He was doing experiments in magic that was... Well, it was bad. And secrets. He had taken secrets. He used to... I know one thing. The chronomancer used to work for the Queen. A long time ago.
The queen as in the queen of Lux?
She nods. Yeah. And
Okay.
Something to do with clocks and a secret and magic, and he thought that something was wrong, but he was doing terrible things, and he was hurting people, and
Okay. How did you find me at the tower, and why was I there?
Why you were there. But he did many experiments and took people and... Oh, Esmond, sometimes we took people. Sometimes we went to villages and we took people.
So that's probably what happened to my birth parents then, right?
I promise I don't know. I don't know how you were there. I don't know which village. Esmond.
Okay. That was all the truth, right?
I'm not trying to lie to you.
Mom, I'm not trying to interrogate you or anything. We're going to be investigating the tower at some point. I don't know if there's any way that I can convince everybody to not, without coming off as suspicious, to the verdict. So,
Esmond, okay. The chronomancer was doing bad things. Things the verdicts didn't like. And they came and they destroyed everything. We barely escaped. And well, you were there, and we couldn't leave you. And so we ran away. But Esmond, you can't. The verdicts did not like his magic. And I'm so scared of what'll happen if they think you were involved. If they think that if they find out about us or they found out about you, they might think that we were working for him.
Mom, which is why I need your help. It's why I wanted to ask you these questions. It's why I wanted the truth from you. I'm supposed to be spending my time working on the portal closing device. Project Dynamite, I've decided to call it. But I have another project. And Esmond's going to reach into his satchel and pull out a series of blueprints and hand them over to Gwen. This is Project M, and this is something that I'm going to need if the verdict is going to come after any of us.
Esmond. She looks over the blueprints and looks at you, and her eyes are wide. Are you sure?
No, not especially, but between this and what little I was able to do in that fight at the coast, it's something I have to do. I'm not going to let a repeat of that attack on the village happen again. Not if I can do anything to prevent it. And so I calls for extreme measures. So I will need your help to focus on Project Dynamite, and I'm going to focus a majority of my attention on this.
She looks at it and says, you kind of see her shoulders lift up a little bit, and she says, okay, I can help.
Okay, well, we're both up. What better time to get started, right?
She kind of smiles a little bit, and she says, kind of chews her lip, and there's one more thing. And you have to promise you won't be mad at me.
I can promise to withhold my immediate reaction.
Look, some of your math here is wrong. Like, you... Here, come on, I'll show you.
My math is not wrong. There are several steps. I do the problems on several pages. You know that I work my calculations several pages at a time. They're all in the corners.
Okay. She pats your calf and come on. Heads in the workshop.
What a diss.
Casey. Salinger. Rain is coming down. Water glistens on Poppy's feathers and scales. Her tail swishes back and forth as she examines the obstacle course and looks at each of you. Please describe some of the obstacles that are there before Poppy.
They're standing on a kind of incline of dirt that has been molded to be a ramp up to an edge. And then about 20-25 feet away from that is another edge and another ramp of dirt. And there's a shallow pool of water in between. There's no ropes or anything to get from one side to the other, but it's clear that that's the intent of this obstacle. You see kind of in the middle of the pool, off to each side, dried splashes of water where things have fallen in, with a cascade of water getting splashed out of the pool. And those start around the middle and kind of work their way towards that other edge. Further down, it goes into a more maze-like area with several mirrors and candles. Not quite clear what that's for. And then it proceeds further around the edge there. It's not that far, Poppy. He turns to Salinger. Tell her it's not that far. I'm sure she can make the jump.
You know she understands you just fine. She just likes it better when I tell her the instructions first.
It's not that far.
Steel flicks. It's been multiple days now that Poppy's been trying the obstacle course. Failure after failure after failure. Lightning cracks through the clouds. It's coming down. And pulling this around. Salinger, tell us about Poppy's run of the obstacle course.
So as that lightning crack happens, Poppy goes down into a crouch, low as if about to pounce and leap. Runs at a speed, kicking dirt back in both Casey and Sal's face as she skates over the edge of the water. And where she normally would splash in, countless attempt after attempt, she instead nicks the edge of an object that had fallen beneath the surface, with one talon bouncing up just slightly one more time. Starts to fall again, but this time flicks her tail to the side, adding a little rotational force and momentum as she skips like a stone, rolling to the other side and then bouncing to her feet. She looks back, tail sticking straight up in the air, makes eye contact with both of us as if surprised that she made it, starts to hop up and down, and then slips in the mud and slides down into the water.
Up, into the next section. Light those candles. Light those candles. Remember the fire breath.
She's sunken down just to above her thigh. She starts to look panicked and worried, as if not sure what to do next, starts slapping her tail into the mud, shooting a little bit everywhere, and then rolls backwards towards the candle. As she rolls through it, mud flings everywhere in all directions and extinguishes several of them before she panics and regains her bearing and just takes off in a sprint down past the mirrors and the force of the air.
You're not supposed to be seen in the mirrors. Don't. Make sure you're not seen in the mirror. Invisibility if you need to.
Okay. She catches that, stops, starts to skid, and before she passes the first mirror, she hits it with her shoulder and collapses them, and they break. Shattering, jumping up, she runs across them.
That's the stealth section. Casey kind of climbs up a little rope ladder up to kind of the ops of the different obstacles and runs down along to get a better view.
What's the next section, real quick?
Next section is probably several planks of wood that are sticking out of the ground. Some of them are half melted.
And can I say it loops back around in a big U to get back to us?
There's another section with the tomatoes that's after that, but yeah, we can loop back around after that.
So she starts jumping from log to log, across and across, one town at a time. At first, nervous and tepid, and then you see her leap higher than she has before, up on to where the tomatoes would be, and right before she lands, and you've seen this before, because it happened to Sal when he tried to go through this over and over and over again. They're all going to strike, all at once. And they'll definitely hit her.
She can dodge her shield, which one she's gonna do? Dodge!
As soon as she's about to land amongst the tomatoes, you see this kind of swirl. You've seen something kind of like it when Sal blinks from one place to another. A little hail of mist and a silhouette where he used to be. And then she appears right back next to him, with a big grin on his face. Does that count? She make it through.
Did you teach her that?
I mean, I've done that with her nearby, but I guess you figured it out.
No, that's very good.
And then Sal looks up and noticed that she brought a tomato with her and it's starting to fall towards them. Panicked, he flails at it and misses. It's only an inch from her head. She rears back, arcs up, and spits acid onto it. Well, that's new. And it fizzles around her. Steam rising a little bit up from the ground.
That's not the section for that. That was the wood plank section, but that's perfect. Could not have asked for more.
Poppy looks back and forth between each of you, seemingly studying your faces, and as you both look pleased, feathers begin to ruffle. She jumps down from the balcony railing, sailing through the Wanderlust landing on the bar top, an omelet, snatches a piece of bacon off the table, goes running off the beach.
I'm here. I'm just hooking up my headphones.
Yeah. We watch her run off. Casey turns to Sal and says, I'll show her the fire thing again tomorrow. We'll get it. Don't worry.
Well, and you still gotta show me how to pull daggers out of midair, too. We got more work to do.
In the Wanderlust, Olet's just run off a piece of bacon, and Ash standing there, arms crossed.
Now, you can pretty much let Omelette eat whatever she wants around here, but make sure that no one kills her. I kind of think she brings, I don't know, I like her as a mascot, if you know what I'm saying. So, Lowry kind of looks after the place sometimes, but when you're here, I don't really expect you to do much of the cooking or anything. Just make sure nobody burns the place down while we're gone or, tries to rob us absolutely blind.
What do I do if people they eat too much? They eat too much, or they're drinking too much all the time?
Is Shalati in the room too? Also. Is Shalati around? Press.
It's possible if necessary.
Am I back from the trip?
Up to you if you want to be in the scene next day.
If it makes sense for you, we can make it work.
Yeah, I mean, if this is not like a set date, then if we
Yeah,
can
it's
floating
not a
then
set
sure.
date. Yeah. Peach would kind of look over at Shalati and say, I mean, she can do this, right? She's not, doesn't take after Yev. She's not, she's going to be
Shalati has been
helpful.
staring into the fire, someone distracted and looks up. Huh? Oh, I'm a more opposite person to Yev. I cannot think. Except that they are both somewhat cheerful.
Alright, that's
Ash, you know how
because
to... Ash, you know how to do this. You can cook. You can laugh and make jokes. Even if there hasn't been that much to joke about. You like people a lot more than I do.
And the stuff that used to be hard here is suddenly real easy. It's now more of a pay what you can kind of thing, and then everything just goes toward groceries for everyone. And it's much more of a everybody come along for whatever the Wanderlust is serving, and less of a you order what's on that menu. So you don't really have to worry about people eating or drinking too much, or I suppose you might, but you won't have to worry about cooking anything interesting. It'll be whatever's available. Usually a stew and some eggs.
I can do that. I thought you wanted me to spend more time at the temple.
I think she just brought along the two to help her wrangle the sheep back. Not to move them permanently over there just yet.
Yeah, Ash was. It's just kind of like looking hopeful as she says that.
Ash, I need
Oh,
you to
okay.
wrangle the people in the town. There's only one person here with enough charisma as me. Well, there's Casey, but his charisma's so high, it's like, it's impossibly so. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that you've got the personality for it, all right? You can talk to people. You're good at it. And Shalati says you're real good at it. And I need somebody to do it because if I'm going to go off and, support your sister and everybody else, then I need to make sure that someone's here, looking after my mom's place. I don't want it to get destroyed like half the rest of the town. I want it to still be here whenever I come back.
May still end up moving everyone to the temple at some point anyway, but I think for right now, we're still, most things are still centered around the town. So it might be safer for our family to stay here for now.
No. Okay, I can help here. Maybe every few days I'll go to the temple to check on the herd. Sasha said she would go with me.
It's probably good. It's always good to not travel that alone.
Okay.
And you make sure that Sasha keeps up your training too. All of you in your year are you're almost adults too.
Such as Kibeth, little sibling, right?
Huh?
Just about your age, Ash?
Uh-huh.
I think that's wonderful. I think once a week, maybe twice a week. Should we get Sesha working here?
Huh? Does it need the help?
Shalati reaches out and just like slaps Peach lightly across like the forearm.
I'm sorry. Last thing you need is your family getting even bigger.
Okay, I'm going to go check on the bacon. He walks out the front door.
How are we getting bacon, Shalati? Where did this come from?
Don't ask too many questions.
This is our knocker, right? Like, we're just saying it's bacon. This is dinosaur.
Warnaka's bacon.
Yeah. I just
It
want to
comes
make
from this-
sure.
You cut it off the ribs in the same way, or but I don't actually know what part of the pig bacon comes from.
You know what? You fried enough butter, and it'll taste like bacon regardless.
And maybe I think people are just getting really tired of the Ranaka's meat, so calling it something else is at least that much changes.
Yeah.
As Ash flees out into the street, the big doors swings open, swings closed, and swings in the other way. And standing in the doorway is Esmond.
Hey, Ass. How you been?
Is it?
Chris, how many days has it been since we started?
These are just kind of ambiguous throughout the time scope. So.
I'm surprised to see you poking your nose out of the workshop, but good for you.
Do you want some Hakeem?
Esmond looks like shit.
Peach is just making coffee and bringing food over.
He's got rings under his eyes. His hair is more of a mess than it usually is, and he's also just covered in grease. He's got his work clothes on, which that he hates, but he also has, like, despite all that, he has like an air of energy to him that you really haven't seen in a while, I think. And he just comes in like, I forget why I came here.
To eat? You should take off your clothes and wash your hands first. No, you'll make everything dirty. She gets up to get like a basin and a pitcher for washing up.
Yeah, as you can come behind the counter and clean up if you want back in the kitchen, but you kind of look like maybe you should sit down. Do you want me to bring you to a booth? And Shalati will bring you something to wash up with? And she'll kind of start guiding him to a booth and get him to sit down.
Just
if he allows it.
Yeah, as you're pushing him, he's just like, yeah, okay, I guess I came here to eat. That must be why I'm here. Yeah, food, clean. Both sound nice, yeah.
Either way, you can think of what you're supposed to tell us. If it's not, get clean and eat food while you're eating and getting clean, right?
When was the last
jog your
time
memory.
you slept?
Last night? Right?
She
How
leans
many
over and
hours
whispers
ago was
to
that?
Peach. Maybe no Hakeem? Maybe just like an herbal tea?
Az, are you looking to be sharp or are you looking to sleep?
I gotta stay awake. I gotta work on the device. We gotta get these portals closed, and we gotta get that settled before we can do
Slotty
anything else.
snaps in front of his face and waits to see how long it takes him to react.
It's immediate. Just hey, what's up?
Okay, good. I'm just testing to see if your wits are still about you. I don't think it's good for you to be working with dangerous things if you cannot react quickly.
It's not that dangerous to me necessarily. I mean,
Asmund, you are missing half a hand, my friend.
It's so out of character. Just while he thinks about what to say. I definitely wrote down your request for a scene with Kabath as a scene with Peach. I just threw it away for no reason, but I love it.
He's just
I'm
a
just chilling
little
here
too
eating.
fried.
I mean, he's absolutely fried. But yeah, I mean, absolutely during like this 20-day span, this is something that would have happened.
Okay.
I'm sitting here eating sweet potato fries. What? I heard my name. What?
Apparently, this awkward interaction between Peach and Ez didn't necessarily need to happen, but it's happening now.
Yeah.
Well, I love it.
Esmond is going to do a scene with Kabeth, but I wrote it down as a scene with Peach, so I just threw him into the scene.
Oh, I love it. So
no one having any idea what's going on.
Kevin is playing Ez accurately wandering into the Wanderlust with no context whatsoever. Good improv, my friend.
Regarding in response to your comment on his missing hand, there's a solid 3-second pause where you see him like calculating how to respond to that.
I'm just saying, be careful.
Touche.
Anyway, I think it is just about dinner time. Kibeth hasn't quite turned up here yet, and she's usually the first signal of that, so...
And you see Kibeth, did I came in with a box of scraps. Were those?
You look back, it's sitting by the door.
I'll take that food to go. I need to get these scraps to Kibeth. I actually wanted to talk to her about something.
Yeah, Peach will kind of dart into the kitchen and come back with like a little paper parcel wrapped up. It's just like sandwiches. Here, bring some to Quebec too. That girl, you know what? Let me get you another. And she disappears for another minute and comes back with a basket full of various breads and donuts and bagels. These are a little stale, but I don't think she'll mind. I think.
Peach, you're a hero, and I won't mind either. And he just takes a single bagel and just like shoves it into his mouth as much as he can, and just kind of immediately heads back to the door and like picks up that box of scraps with the food that you gave him. And he just heads out immediately.
And Peach hollers after him. And sleep! Do sleep eventually!
However,
By the time you reach Kabeth's workshop, you kind of overhear Dirge Pothammer talking to Kabeth. He says, I've not worked with it myself, but the Dark Silver, the mountains and the temple could be useful, difficult to mine, have to go deep. But maybe you could talk to our friend with the horn. Oh, well, you have.
Lots of us have.
The friend with the skirts. The skirts.
And they wear skirts. I mean, what color is their hair?
Oh, it's like blue, but dark. It's like blue.
What? I mean, Peach wears blue sometimes. Rhea wears blue.
The demon. The demon friend.
She is not a demon. That is very rude of you to say that.
He starts to blush. Silver! He gets up and leaves. And as he clears the doorway, Esmond's standing there.
If you want me to do favors for you, you should be nicer to my friends.
everything good with Dirge?
It's fine. I'm sure.
You drop a box of nails.
Leaves me alone all day. Suddenly needs my attention. Yeah, it's fine. Did you? Do you need? Can I take that? For what is?
Yeah. First, and he'll just kind of hold the box out towards you. There's some stale bread here from Peach. She says, "Eat up."
Well, I mean, it'll toast up fine. It'll probably toast up fine.
It's not that stale. I already took some. And then I have this box of scrap metal. It's too small for us to use in the workshop at this point. I figured that you could take it and rework it into something else that you're working on.
Yeah, melt it down, make it into something else.
I also wanted to ask you a personal question, if you've got a second.
She looks around at the empty shop and just like, yeah, I guess I don't have anything else to do.
Sorry, I just... How did you get over your fear of fire? During that time where I just kind of disappeared, I kind of closed myself off for a little bit, and I just everyone went through all these changes I wasn't there for, and one of the ones that impressed me the most was that you're not scared of fire, seemingly, and how?
Well, there's two parts to it. The first is, well, I never really got to talk to you about it because, the whole town kind of went to hell. But you know how you needed that metal for a project you were working on a long time ago, and I guess Casey got my papa to agree to give you some in return for me for working the forge, and at the time I wasn't really on board for that, but then I realized that it was really, really important to you, and I was like, yeah, I could give it another try. I'm sure that obviously it hasn't turned out to be quite as horrible as I thought, although she holds up her sleeve. You can see like all the scorch marks on her sleeve, and she's like, obviously, there's been some mishaps, but with the big tub of salve from Ava, it hasn't been terrible. And well, I mean, the other part of it is, well, my papa's gone now, and my mama's gone too, and so I'm the oldest left around, and who else is going to work the forge? I mean, my siblings are okay at it, but they're still a little young. And so, I don't know, I just decided to do it, and turns out I'm okay at it.
You just decided to stop being scared of fire? Because...
Oh no, it's still absolutely terrifying, but once I started doing the work and realized that the consequences weren't as bad as I thought they were going to be, it got easier with each day. And I mean, still love it, but there's something about, well, there's something about working with material and transforming it into something else that only you can envision in your mind, or that, well, you can write the plans down or take plans from someone else, but only you can make it into that thing. There's something, I don't know, amazing about that, and I just focus on doing that instead of thinking about how scary fire is. The salve helps, though, honestly.
Esmond's kind of awkwardly standing there in the doorway, just holding his hand with the prosthetic on it, just kind of rubbing his thumb into his palm. So you just... When the town needed you, you just stood up and took the mantle despite everything that you were scared of.
Well, yeah. Did I tell you I also have healing magic now too? Not a lot. I don't have anywhere near the talent of Ava, but it helps when I do hurt myself. I guess all those things together. Means that I'm not so afraid anymore.
I don't know if anyone tells you this enough, but Kibeth, you're amazing, honestly. That's awesome.
Don't tell anyone.
I don't make any promises.
She's blushing like crazy. She's like, clearly uncomfortable now, like looking around to see if there's something she can like put in her hands to work on. You want to see my latest project?
Just for a quick second, I have to get back to the workshop to work on the portal device. But yeah, absolutely.
She kind of beckons over to her workbench, where she's got all kinds of material that we've salvaged from things. She's like, I think I have some ideas on what I can make out of the Aranakis. And she shows him some drawings on a piece of paper. It's a really cool looking shield made out of the Aranakis. She's like, this is for Ava because she's such a lightweight and we don't want her to die, being our primary healer and all. I mean, Araya does great stuff too, but I just thought it'd be good to have something for her to put in between her and the bad things, and maybe she'll live longer.
Esmond immediately starts like poring over the blueprint, right up his alley. He's just looking over, just kind of making his own light sketches against it, like bouncing off of your measurements and your calculations, just to see like not double checking, but like he's wanting to do the math himself. It's like I can't wait to see this. This is gonna be really cool.
Thanks. Hey, what? Is there something that you're afraid of that? I don't know. If there's any way that I can help you, like Ava made me, like my healing stuff. You know that if you need something, you just need to ask.
I know. No, I mean, he just holds up his hand. I mean, everyone knows the things that I worry about, but maybe I'll try and take a page out of your book and just push through the fear, I guess. Stand up for everyone else, because they need help.
I mean, yeah, but you don't have to do all that by yourself. I know that you kind of feel responsible for looking after the town, but we're all together on this, You don't have to carry the burden by yourself. We're here to help. Together.
Yeah, I'll try and keep that in mind. I gotta go. I'm excited to see this though. I'll see you next time I come out of the workshop.
Please come by more often. I'll feed you sometimes. You can look over my plans. I don't do any math on them. I don't know why you do math on them, but I just wing it, and you can do the math anytime you want.
He is backing out the door, but he turns and starts backing out the door quickly. He just points at you. No math is a horrifying thought. That scares the shit out of me, and just turns back around, just starts rushing back off.
As the door closes, outside the winter crops are coming in well. The herd is grazing. Deathmaker and Savagery standing on the hilltop, watching the farmers suspiciously. You know that across the temple, behind the doors, there is a tear in the world. And through it, all the maidens have gone. What's Araya up to?
She's sitting at the temple in the main sacred pools where the portal has opened up and staring into the almost watery surface, and from it she can see the dry desert beyond. She's been wondering if maybe her sisters have lost their way, that maybe that they would come back for more water, that this land seems so parched that they have every reason to go there, but they also could have every, like, if something went horribly wrong, they could come back. And so she's like strung up like some maiden's like fabric on like a staff, and put that out so there's like a flag waving out of the portal. And she spends time each day staring into the surface, willing one of her sisters to step back through, but she herself is too scared to step beyond.
The flag that you've made waves in the wind on the other side. Occasionally you see a shift in the sand, shift of the dunes more than just the wind. Day after day, no answer. No response, no sign of the maidens who have left. One of those days, as you're watching the portal, peering through into the desert, you hear footsteps in the temple behind you.
She, having sat there for so long that maybe her legs have like fallen asleep under her in this like kneeling position, she stretches and turns to see who might have come. Maybe they need her help.
Get to the doorway and see Casey.
Oh. She's in the like, it's a pool. You come walk closer. There's water here.
I didn't interrupt anything, did I? Yeah. Casey walks over, doesn't check up when he approaches the water, but you do see a little flick of his hand, and the water kind of recedes from where his feet step into the dry pool where he stands, and the water kind of stays back from him a bit.
She looks down at his feet and back up at him.
What? Any news from the
No, well, so I'm worried maybe they can't find their way back to the temple. That, I mean, sand isn't easy to find your way like back. That's not like footsteps can stay in it. So I put like some of the robe, like a flag. Maybe that's something that they can see, but
you think they would come back?
I think that there's reason to bring more of the water from the temple to this place. There's always reason for them to come back. There are missions, but this is their home.
I mean, we could go find him.
I can't. I don't. I think they were misguided stepping through the portal. It's folly to follow in misguided footsteps. I want the best for them, but we would have to mount a rescue at this point, and we don't even know if they need rescuing. As you said, there were words on the other side, on the far end of the desert. Maybe they're fine.
There's people through. I don't think you step through a portal like this, seeing what's on the other side, and need rescuing.
It's my nature to want to pray for them and their safe return. How did they have the courage to step through? Is their faith stronger than mine that I can't follow?
Casey, the last time that you were here, you had sent a message through. Do you remember the message that you got back?
I do. Something along the lines of all are welcome here, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Let's check.
Yeah, Casey thinks a moment, says, they have their own goals and purpose. I mean, perhaps yours just aren't the same as theirs.
But they should be.
Why? You're your own person.
I am, but I would. They truly feel that this is in service of the maiden, but I think that my service is better spent helping the people physically here. Does that make me more practical and not spiritual? That my goals are so small.
I think the fact that you follow the goals that you see fit makes you you, makes you great.
But I long for the guidance of that higher power. I've only ever lived by the high priestess, and she thought this was. I might have disagreed with her, but she truly thought this was the right thing to do. So is it insult to her that I want to go and save them?
I think it's not insult to want to save someone, but only if they truly need it.
Do you think they're okay over there? Truly. Not just because you had flashes of light that made sense. And
Casey, did you ever tell anyone the message that you got?
I mentioned it to Esmond, and I think I mentioned I talked to some people, to maybe a few others, but
I thought I was there when you were sending the message. Like I was directly there. Oh.
no, that was at night. I did mention that I had spoken to people, to you, but he would kind of reiterate.
Then I would rephrase, be how are you so sure that they're fine over there?
Well, you just go with your gut.
I think, let's say that you've told Esmond, but you haven't told anyone else the exact message.
Okay. The talking, with flux code to the people on the other side. I mean, they said all were welcome. They were calling people to them.
Roll history or investigation with advantage. Or religion, sorry. Religion or history. And this is something that catches in the corner of your mind for a moment. Maybe it's a coincidence. In Celestial, all R means danger.
Like, she listens to you and she's like hanging on your words, trying to find a glimpse of hope. And then when you say that, her her gaze drops down and her smile falls and then her brow furrows. No, Case. No, I don't. Well, if it's them out there, well, no.
And with that natural 20, you think back when you were just kids. Sometimes that wordplay you and Albina would use to kind of warn each other that you're about to get in trouble with Coronet.
Casey, can you do it again? Can we try to
A Lux code?
Yeah. No, cuz um no, I didn't know. I thought you were just optimistic. They're in No, they're in trouble. How long ago was that?
A couple weeks at this point, I think.
Casey. She like grabs his hand and pulls him towards the portal. We have to see if they're still there.
Yeah, when she does this, Casey kind of steps forward and into the water that was staying back. He's like, "What? I mean, you think something's wrong?
I think something's very wrong.
Kind of reaches into one of his pouches and pulls out a little mirror on a stick. It's like, I'll try talking to them again. And he,
Did you go all the way through the portal or did you just peek through? Like, show me what you did.
yeah, and he kind of walks up to it, and puts his arm through with the mirror on the stick and positions it to catch the light down just below the portal on the other side until he sees the sun bouncing off the mirror onto that sand there, and then he slowly rotates it up as the beam gets further away and kind of points out to the horizon there.
Yeah.
And then he starts Lux Code.
As you stick your hand through the warm, dry air on the other side, it's immediately tingling on your skin. The 3 suns above burning down. You search for a moment, you catch the light. Sweep it across the dunes up towards the small shape in the distance silhouetted by Crescent Mountain. What do you send?
He sends still there out amongst the dunes.
Investigation, please.
Investigation?
For your Lux code.
That's my best.
She's going to be like praying the whole time at his shoulder if I can do guidance for this ability roll.
Okay.
Thank you.
What does that give me? D4?
An additional D4 to an ability check.
4, that's a 17.
Yeah.
You wait a moment. Moment more. No response.
Try it again, Casey. Maybe there's too much sun and maybe they're not looking. How far is it to the mountain range, to where it's not sand?
I mean, it was a ways away.
Whatever position the portal is on the other side, it's elevated. If you had to guess, it might be 2 or 3 days across the desert to reach whatever place that is.
You know, I'll try again,
Me with
just
you.
in case.
It's
Casey is lucky.
Oh, you don't need to roll again.
Okay. Fair enough.
it's been weeks. This is someplace entirely other. Do you think they could even reach the portal if they came back to the portal? If we stepped out, we'd fall. We wouldn't be able to get back up in any way. You can't pile sand.
No,
Not
the portal seems to be elevated on rocks.
on rocks. Okay,
Yeah,
not
it's
a
like on
house.
a...
Cool. Not like some impossible floating, hovering portal that people could never. They're like, hey, I wish I practiced jumping. Fuck this.
I have an obstacle course for that.
A flash of light in the distance catches your attention. More flashes.
She like grabs his tunic. That way.
Is it Lux Code?
Seems to be. Israel investigation.
Oh.
A L L A R E H E R E.
No.
Is it
Casey,
all
it's
her?
words.
Yeah, all are here.
But Alhar is danger. It's dangerous here. No. Ask. How can we help? Can we
All
help?
are.
Alhar and Celestial is danger. It's. Most of the priestesses know Celestial. It's all our prayers are in.
So you think it's them?
I do! Some of them. Hopefully all of them. How can we help?
Yeah, I'll say it. And he moves the mirror and says that.
What do you send?
Help now.
A moment later, much shorter than the previous delay. Flashes of light. COME ALLARE WELCOME.
Yeah, that's what they said before. Just come, all are welcome.
Tell them to come back to. What if. Tell them to come back home. Do they need water? Do they need to find their way? Is it the sand? Is it the
I mean, I'm
I know, no.
I'm pretty
I
good at
know.
Lux code, but it's kind of got to be short.
Tell them to come home.
Come, yeah, come home or come back.
Come back.
Okay, yeah, and he'll send come back.
A moment later, there are flashes of light. COME, HOME, ALL, ARE, HERE.
She just faces Casey. I don't understand.
I don't think they're gonna come back this way.
But if they needed our help, wouldn't what they say change? If it's dangerous, wouldn't what they say change? Casey, what if it's
Wait. And he holds the mirror through and kind of moves it a little more and sends what's your name?
LBINA.
Albina?
Yeah, the Haragon priestess.
I think that's who we're talking to.
That makes sense, but then when I say how we can help, she says, come, all are welcome here. Do you think they're having her reply and she's trying to warn, but do you think, no. Is there some sort of call and response I can do with a priestess prayer kind of thing that maybe. You know how at a church you're like, may the Lord be with you, and then they're like, also with you. One of those. But maiden style. I'll think of something.
I think either way, our path is clear
That we're
we have
going to get them, yes?
yeah, I mean, we have to go through. Either they're there and they're fine and they want us to come, or they're there and they're in trouble, in which case we should go. I mean, we'll have to navigate the giant sandworms, but I might need to talk to Ez about that a bit.
Can you
Yeah.
show me what do you mean a sandworm? Do you see? Is a sandworm here with us now?
Yeah, you would know it if there was one. They kind of bust out of the sand. Casey has an idea. He kind of looks around, finds a little rock, and then slings it through the portal as far as he can.
Well, strength.
Oh, it's my best thing.
You can do athletics.
$28.
Ooh. Yeah, you roll it far.
Do I still have guidance?
Yeah, sure.
30.
It takes a orbit.
There's a large surge of sand where near the rock landed a moment later. There's nothing really distinct you can make out.
Yeah, so they're under there.
She's like watching it.
But hey, I mean, if the other priestesses made it through, I'm sure there's a way we can.
Albina made it through. She come back. The sand must be. And if they need help, but there's so much needed here.
So they've been there at least a few weeks, yeah? It can't be, they're still talking back. It can't be so pressing. If we need to take care of things here and then.
I feel I can't leave the portal. I don't know how I can keep up any of the agreements that we've made with sea monsters or malcontent older scary humans. I forgot. Justice. No, that's not the wrong word. Judge. Nope, that's the wrong word. Verdict. Thank you. I'm like malcontent older human male. The verdict. I can't
The
honor
judgy guy.
the judgy guy. I can't leave them. But do you think they're important to me? But are they important enough to drag everyone through days of deserts? But the possibility that they're there, or that this is just an elaborate trap to have more of us come through. What if it's just using one of them?
Oh, all of us. I mean, we make our own decisions. You wouldn't be dragging us through if we went with you. We choose to go with you.
I just feel that the importance of a few outweighs the needs of a many, and I feel it's a lot to ask, is all I mean.
Well, whenever you decide to go, just let me know.
Oh, yes. Although, you're gonna have to carry quite a bit of water, so maybe you should, she kind of like nudges some water at your feet where it's dry around your feet. Repelled.
And that's kind of desert. So much better than the one. Yeah, I mean, I guess we have to.
Do you drink water? Like, you drink water? You take baths, I assume. Am I assuming too much.
What do you? I mean, what are you getting at?
You won't even touch it. Wait, like touch it? It's Hakeem, it's okay. If it's pure water, it's not. Pond water, bath water, shower, rain,
Are you
fog.
seducing me?
What? No! I'm just... trying to understand you. She looks back through the portal and away from him. You really would be happier there instead of in the temple baths. Happier there. You get thirsty.
I mean, I've never been there, so.
Oh, is that new and shiny? Thank you.
Like I said, whenever you decide to go through, just let me know. And everyone else too. I'm sure we'll all.
I'm not gonna sneak off in the middle of the night. I can barely put my hand through. It's terrifying. You saw me go across the wooden plank, right? I am not a brave soul.
I mean, it's kind of warm, but it's not unpleasant. You're right there. You could just put a hand through.
How can I see your hand first? Is it fine?
Yeah, you look at his arm, and he has some magma lines going up it, and a few new ones. But it looks not worse for wear.
Tentatively reaches through. We're all becoming Shalati. Tentatively, it reaches through the portal to test the other side. just. I like the dichotomy of it being like a ripple of water into hot, like an oven.
The air on the other side is dry and hot. You can feel direct sunlight on your skin. You can see the air just above the dunes playing with the heat.
I've watched this portal. I've prayed it. I haven't seen the sun set. Does it ever? Have I seen the sunset? Does the sun set?
Yeah, if
Not that
you've
I've been watching it all the time, but I have more than a few times over the time this length of.
We can see that there's 3 suns, right?
They could be like a hula hoop, and they all line up at some point in time.
roll charisma. Yeah. You've been watching through this portal quite a bit. There's about approximately 1 hour of what seems like nighttime. The sky never gets completely dark, but there's about an hour each day where there's no direct sunlight.
Okay. I'm gonna watch that horizon where I see it is and try to map it out and remember where the light has come from. That like flicker of life on the horizon. Okay. I'll let them know. We should ask. It doesn't hurt to ask. It just seems a lot to ask.
We'll find him.
Yes. The maiden wouldn't abandon them. Not in this place.
But first, I guess we have to finish up with this fish.
What did he say to you exactly at the end there?
I mean, he was kind of talking big, throwing around some threats that he couldn't back up. So I let him know that
Really?
he needed to settle down. He was looking for a way back home. And Ez and I were talking to him. We were like, okay, I mean, you need to get back home. We can help you get back home. And so he was like, all right, cool, I'll chill out. If
He
you guys
did
help me
chill
get back home.
out.
Exactly.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, we'll help him get back home, and then he won't be in our waters anymore.
And then you won't have to go back in water, which works out for you. I just want to hear you say it. You're
Not
scared of the water.
Casey turns and starts to walk away, and he says, not everything is about me, Araya.
Oh,
As you let the spell,
she splashes at you. Just like,
as you splash the water, some of the liquid gets onto your notebook, Ava. Lily. Oh, I guess it's not 2 measures.
Oh my god. She wipes away the small droplets of water and says, Lily, gotta be careful.
I was being careful. I can't account for the reaction of them having. We haven't mixed these chemicals before. These herbs are. They don't go together. We're getting closer.
Yeah. You're right. Alright, where are we?
Well, theorem number 27 is not going to work, so we're going to have to come up with something else.
Okay, I'll scratch it off.
What were you guys doing out there anyway? I saw you came back with all that stuff.
There was a big fish. Yeah, there was this big, smart fish thing that was out there, and it wants to go through a portal back to its home or something like that, and so we're gonna help it do that. So it let us take all the stuff from the ship that was crashed out there, and
What? Wait, what? You're helping it?
yeah, I mean, that's what everyone decided to do.
Seems really dumb.
I mean, I can't say it's smart, but I mean, I don't know. That's what everyone wanted to do, so that's what we're doing.
I think you're just letting. I don't know, these people. They sure are influencing you a lot lately.
I mean, yeah, it's not like influencing me. I'm just like not making decisions. The other people are making the decisions. It's not, and then influencing
So
me.
people are just telling you what to do?
No, they're not like telling me what to do. They're just, I'm not, I mean, what was I, we were in the middle of a fight and they stopped fighting. I mean, what was I supposed to do?
I just think you're doing a lot of dangerous stuff lately. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, of course it's dangerous stuff. Like, it's very... She stops for a second as she sort of thinks back to the experience with the great Aranakis and the time that was spent in the... what was the name of the other plane?
You don't really have a name for it. You probably want to talk to maybe Araya or Esmond to maybe parse out what exactly happened there, because there are some inconsistencies between like what you saw and things you've heard about.
Oh, the Pale Lands. That's right. Was that a name that was at least pitched, or is that just an out of character thing?
So there are some inconsistencies between descriptions you've heard of the Pale and what you saw.
Okay, all right. I'll know that. So she thinks back, though, and as to the place that she experienced and the fear of waking up and thinking she was dead. Sort of shakes her head, sort of comes back to the present, sitting in the room, clears her throat. It's dangerous. I mean, there's no way of getting around it. Everything is dangerous. That's why I have to go, because there's fighting, and that's where people are gonna get hurt, and that's where people would die if I didn't help them. So, I have to be there.
Okay, but there's a lot of people in the town that need you, and if you go off and you get killed, what are those people going to do?
That's why we were working on these. I mean, this can do, if we get it right, even if even if it takes me a while to come back or something, there will be enough supplies, and you can make these.
Not the same.
It's not, but it's the best we can do. And I can't be both places, and I have to be in at least one place. And people around here, things are relatively safe right now, and out there is really dangerous. And I'm supposed to have been going to the front anyway, so I have to kind of do this.
I heard that we just got this place safe. I heard that you're going somewhere.
I think we're supposed to be going a couple places. We have to test something that Esmond's working on outside of town. He's gonna try to use it to close the tears that have opened up. That are, I don't know. I think I talked to you about them. They're the ones that they're into another hole. They're a hole, like a tear.
Husband's not going to close an interplanar tear.
He might. He's really. I mean, I'm sure he can. He said he can. I'm sure he can.
Sure, whatever.
I mean, if you think that he can't, then just let me work on this stuff and you go help him.
Well, you can't do it without me, so.
I can probably do it without you.
Well, if you're going to be leaving, I have to make sure these are right, so let's just keep doing it.
Oh my god, okay. You know what? Fine. It's just number 29, right?
Yeah.
Okay, after this, there's other things I have to work on. I have to go and work on that project. That, never mind. That'll come after. Okay, let's get this done. And they, go.
There's a knock at the door.
I'll get it. It's fine. Just you focus. She goes to answer it.
No. It's Esmond. Lily, closes her eyes and she, walks out of the room and goes upstairs.
Hey.
Hey, sorry to bother you. You're not terribly busy at the moment. Do you have... are you? I do have a moment to talk.
She looks back and notices that Lily has left the room. Yeah, come on in. We were working on some herb stuff for some potions.
Oh, I don't. Maybe I shouldn't ask you then. Would look, there are a number of projects that my mom and I are trying to juggle, and there just isn't enough time to get them all done before the 20-day before the 20-day limit that we've kind of set for ourselves, for at least for the portal device. Do you could I enlist you to come help? You are the only other person with the steadiest hands that could be used for engineering, and we could use your help.
Oh, yeah. I think, yeah, sure, for like the portal or the other things.
Another thing.
Oh, one of those other things. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me. Do you know how long it would take? Because I mean, I know that if I keep up with Lily, we'll probably be done here in a few days. But like I can step away for a few hours, or if it's going to take longer, I can work it into a schedule. But like, what is it? Like
11 days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 11 days.
I think I can do that. I mean, based on how much progress we've made so far, we've completed one. It's the more complicated version that we're working on now, and I think, yeah, I can do that. Okay, I'm gonna go tell her what I'm doing, and I'll come with you and look over the blueprints to get sort of an idea, and then I'll work it in somehow. Yeah, I can do this.
You go talk to her. I'll wait outside. I'll wait outside.
Okay. And she walks halfway across the room and sort of stops a little bit and pauses for a little bit and sort of turns a little bit over her shoulder and says, "Hey, that portal device you're working on, you think it'll work, right?"
The door jam I'm developing. The lightning dynamite.
Are you actually calling it that?
I'm calling it Project Lightning Dynamite because that's what insists on calling it. It's going to be called the door jam.
But yeah, that thing. You think it'll work?
It has to.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be right back. And she trots off to go just talk to Lily about what's going on.
As Vin does. Ava turns and goes inside, going for the stairs. You catch a bit of movement just inside the doorway. You see a rustle of leaves, scrape of a pot across the ground. You see a shrub kind of walk into the foyer. Doesn't have eyes, but it seems to be looking at you.
Is there a canteen or like a pitcher of water or something that I could feed the plants?
I mean, you've got a water skin.
I'm sorry, I don't have any water for you.
There's no reaction. There's there's no expression. But you can just tell somehow. Winslow's disappointed. He walks past the door, going further into the house.
Esmond's having a moment, and he's deciding if he should go sleep or not.
Ava, do you want to do a scene with Lily or just come back down to Esmond? Or just end?
Yeah, we can I think that we got a flavor for Lily. I don't want to torture people too much with watching that interaction. So after a while, she'll come back down. Her face is probably a little flushed, and she wipes strands of hair behind her ear, tucks it back there. It's like, hey, okay, yeah, she'll be fine. She said she's got it, and it's totally fine, and she's okay with me coming and helping for 11 days because she knows that she can do it without my help because I don't even help that much to begin with. So let's go.
Okay. Esmond will lead the way to the workshop. As they're leaving, he will express. So I don't actually have the blueprints ready yet. I haven't had time to draft them. I have them in my head. I'm gonna need a day to draft them, but during that day that I'm drafting them, I'm gonna have you working on the lightning dynamite, and my mom is gonna be working on another project. And then after I have those blueprints drawn up, it'll take you, I estimate, 10 days to actually get the thing put together.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. I don't. It'll be happy to help, even if it's just with boring physics type stuff.
Perfect. That's you're gonna be amazing. You're so great. Okay, let's go.
Do you want to do a scene, or you don't? Or do you want to do?
No, just from that point, just lead Ava back to the workshop and direct her and Gwyn appropriately on splitting up projects.
Okay. Casey, roll a perception check, please. Oh, if you're out. Do we have a Casey?
He did set AFK. I don't know if he's back.
Okay. Okay, well, we're going to take like a 5-minute break. When we come back, we're going to do a bunch of vignettes for like the majority of the time skip for all the characters. They don't have to be long, but just to get a taste of everybody. And then Esmond, I think has one more scene, and then we're going to do like a meeting where all the characters come together and talk. Okay, so final break. Wait, where's my thing? I was ready, but I cannot find the audio.
These birds are peaceful. While we're setting up, I'm sure I'll recount this at the end, but Pris, I think that Shalati's conversation was the boldest conversation I've ever seen of just swimming out to there, and he's like, I eat your brains or something like that. And she's like, interesting, tell me more. And I was like, oh, very bold. I was like, that was just piqued the curiosity. I gotta be honest, I think at that point the creature respected you.
And not for the, well, one of mine killed yours and one of yours killed mine, so let's leave it at that, with me against you.
Yeah. Let's not start anything here, okay? I think that we can call it even.
Beth.
Was it?
Beth, are you still around?
Yes.
You're getting ready to turn in for the night. You know you closed the shop up and you turn the sign around and everything was tucked away, Forge is out, and you hear clang of a hammer on the anvil. You hear a voice down in the shop. That can't be right. It's the middle of the night.
She has sprung out of bed.
Oh, hold on.
Rubbing.
Wait. Before you go, can you turn on noise reduction in Discord? Because there's some kind of crazy background noise where you are.
It's my washing machine. Hold on.
Chris, it's ambiance. That's the workshop. You said there's noise coming from it.
It's true.
My old one died. Like, it flooded my hallway, and they replaced it with one that's like really fucking loud. Like, I can't hear the TV when it's going, and I'm like, it's the worst.
Yeah, this one sounds like it's gonna come and get you. Like, look
It's
out,
so
Ellie.
loud. It's doing its final spin. Let me go to voice.
Yeah, I thought that was someone using a jackhammer on the sidewalk outside of your.
I thought you were using a sewing machine while you were talking. I was like, girl, take a second away from your project.
That's what it sounded like to me.
I am doing cross stitch. Thank you. It is all handwork. Is it any better? I have crisp on.
Mm-hmm.
Wildly better.
Great. I will keep that on now. Did you have more to say? Do you want me to do my thing?
Oh yeah, no, do
Beth springs out of bed, rubbing the sleep from her eyes. She is not upstairs. She is adjacent to the kitchen. She has like a little nook. So she sprints down the hallway, past the kitchen table, and throws open the door to her workshop. What does she see?
You throw open the doors to the workshop and feel the heat of the forge. The fires on, the coals are hot. It's like someone's been working in here for half a day, but there's no one there. You see the tools are where you left them.
She's gonna like. Does anything look out of place at all, or is it exactly as she left it before she put stuff away?
It's just like you left it. I mean, it's a mess, but it's an organized mess. It's your mess. You know where all of your things are. And there's no one's touched anything. The forge is lit.
He calls out, "Hello? Hello? Someone there?"
There's no response, but you realize just barely make it out. You can hear the sound of breathing.
She's gonna basically tear this room apart. She's gonna look under every table, behind every nook, check behind the egg.
You look at the egg still, colorful with all the crayon. You throw a tarp. There's nothing under the bench. You the curtains, the blinds and shutters. Nothing. Its door's still locked. I mean, even the sawdust on the floor. There's footprints, but nothing out of the ordinary. It's then you realize the sound of the breathing is timed with the rise and the fall of the flames.
She takes a step towards it very cautiously. She picks up the bellows, the handheld ones, and she's like, "What is going on?"
You feel a tingle in your hand where you had burned yourself as a child. And you realize the scar is almost like glowing embers in a campfire. Slightly luminous in the room that's dim aside from the fire. And then you hear a voice.
She's staring at her hand in disbelief, and her ears like perk a little bit. What?
Response, but you can hear the breathing. And maybe it's just your imagination. Maybe it's just the sound of the flames. Maybe it's the wind outside.
But her hand is glowing a little, like kind of like when her magic gets triggered, like it's kind of like that.
Yeah, perhaps a bit like that.
This is really weird for me. She looks at the fire. Does it look like it's within control? Like it's just normal?
Yeah, it's pretty low. I mean, if you wanted to work with it, you would try to make it hotter than it is now. But you know you put everything out. You wouldn't leave it running overnight.
Yeah, she picks up the shovel and starts to do what she does to kind of get the fire to calm down a little bit.
It doesn't take long. Flames begin to dwindle. You said calm down, right? The flames begin to dwindle, stamping out, suffocating the fire. And just before the end, barely make it out. That word again. And then you've extinguished the fire.
She whispers to it, "Tomorrow, sleep now." She goes and pats the egg. She shakes her head. She's like, "I know Ez is probably awake, but just tell him." Shuffles off to bed.
The next morning, Salinger, you're getting ready. Everyone's supposed to meet at the Wanderlust today to talk. It's been almost 20 days now. There's a knock at your door.
Stands up. Yeah, it's open.
It's husband.
What it is?
If it's close to the end of the full 20 days, just dark rings under his eyes, covered in grease and shit. Probably doesn't smell particularly great either. But clearly exhausted, but as described previously, there's like an air of energy and creativity almost coming off of his person. Hey, somebody mentioned that you wanted you want to meet up before the meeting or something at some point. I don't know, days are kind of starting to blur together.
Yeah, you look blurry. That's how I'd describe you, he says as he wraps an arm around one of his shoulders and like ushers him over to a chair sitting against the wall. Have a seat. Don't want you stumbling. There's fragile things here.
Yeah, sure. Desmond takes a seat. So, what's going on? I only have so much time. He quickly pulls out a pocket watch from his the leather robe that he has, his work robe that he has. So, you've got me for a little bit of time. We're pushing it.
Sorry, did Sal want to talk to you, Esmond?
Yeah,
Okay, I did that backwards. I don't know. I
it's
was at
fine.
your house, but
It'll totally work.
I was wondering too. I was like, Sal has a house?
Yeah, Sal is at the Wanderlust at one of the rooms. You must have just like showed up early. Is the way we'll.
Please keep having more accidental mix-ups with scenes with
It's
us.
great.
This is great.
I
Yeah,
just
so
love that
here's
Kevin rolls with it every time. He just like you see a little bit of surprised eyes, and then he's like, okay.
well,
well here's what my brain did. I went by his shop to try and get him like 4 or 5 times, and he was always either too busy or too wrapped up or left to get a part. So I just left a note, and you finally got me literally the day before we all have to meet together.
okay, sounds good. Well, my favorite part is Esmond shows up and knocks on your door. He's like, "What's up?"
Checks out.
Anyway, time. That's it's very much what I wanted you to talk about. Put the watch away for just a second. Just don't look at it. Don't think at it. I wanted to take some time just to really thank you for your leadership over the past several dangerous encounters that we would not have gotten out of in one piece if it weren't for the decisions you made. And don't start getting all squinty or apologize or say, no, you didn't do anything, because if it weren't for you, it wouldn't have stopped that monstrous chicken. If it weren't for you, the verdict wouldn't have gotten that shot off against the big old Arkanakis. And if it weren't for you, more things would have had to die, us or sharks or anything, if you hadn't chosen peace with that big monster deep lurker thing. So, thanks.
Uncomfortably extended pause as Esmond just kind of stares at you, but you see that he's like calculating how to respond. I didn't do any of that. I'm no leader. I helped. I
Yeah, you know who everybody's looking to right now for this meeting today? Just think about it for a second. It ain't Casey. It ain't Shalati. It ain't me. It ain't Ava. It's you. It's been you. And I know that's hard. And I know you don't want it. And that's why you're good at it. And I know you're terrible at taking any sort of compliment, even though you are way more capable than you give yourself credit for, because every single time you do something, you succeed despite yourself.
no. You're wrong. I'm not a leader. People don't look up to me. If they do, they shouldn't. We should be turning to Vithedri and the verdict to lead us on where to go, what to do next. I have designated myself to help everyone, to support everyone. No one should be following me. I help come up with ideas. I don't solidify the ideas, though. I no. I tried the leadership thing, and I failed miserably. And uh, there's I'm not. That's not a role. That's for me. It's not.
If you say so, boss.
Sal, the that giant blue jelly chicken only came to exist because of my abilities. The Great Arnakis battle nearly killed Cyfred and Ava. The Deep Lurker fight, I threw myself up on the chopping block to make sure that Shalati and Kimbeth wouldn't be eaten alive. Those are not leadership qualities. Those are incredibly stupid maneuvers that I did. That's everything that I've done has either ended in failure or myself or somebody else getting hurt.
The failure and people getting hurt are the circumstances surrounding your good decisions that made sure we actually survived them. And you can beat yourself up, and I knew you were going to. But I'm just going to keep telling you how well you're doing every time you succeed until you... Well, you'll probably just argue with me forever. Until you get over with it. Figure out that you are actually the one we're looking to. The Thedrians are past, Esmond. Mr. Clock, right? You're the future.
No, I at one time I would have agreed with you. I thought that one day maybe it would be my responsibility, my duty to lead the village, but then everything changed for the worse, and it's only gotten worse. And I'm just trying to play catch up with everything. I I'm no leader, Sal. I'm just not. You or Casey, Doc, Shalati, anyone else would be a far greater leader than I would. Not me though. I I, I can't. I won't. I won't.
Oh well. It was worth a try, I guess. You see him pull out the little notebook that he always has with him, write a few things down based on what you just said. I guess I'll have to eat the leadership quiche then if you're putting me in charge, because I did finally make that thing with some of them blue laurel eggs we've been saving. It's not very big, so we only have the one chicken, so it's your call. You look hungry. You worked yourself to the bone, he says as he just kind of slides it across on a small table. Not a contract or anything, doesn't make you in charge since I made it for the person who, anyway.
Clarify what specifically did you slide over?
A blue laurel egg quiche, a recipe that he tried to perfect for years in preparation for our naming day ceremony for our teacher that never happened.
Esmond will take a fork and take a small piece and bite into it. It's not bad. Then he slides it back over.
Huh. It's delicious. Sal takes a bite too. Yeah, now you're not doing it alone. Helps him up, and we'll head down to the meeting.
leaving Sal's room and going into the main area of the tavern, you can see that some of your friends have already begun to gather there. Casey, please roll a perception check.
That's my best thing.
Ooh, 24 perception. And it says you're getting ready that morning. Arranging all your items, reaching your pouch. And your mirror. Your mirror's gone.
Kind of is like tying the few different pouches to his waist there, and opens it again. Ties it shut. Grabs another pouch. Faint buzzing coming from it, and he ties it to his other hip. Nips out the door, heads to the Wanderlust.
As you get there, it looks like everyone's gathered. Familiar faces distributed amongst the tables at the center of the inn. See a flash of blue feathers. Chicken flies up to the mezzanine, lands on a. All right. Everyone's together. It is the 38th day of autumn.
I think as Casey walks up, Peach sort of flags him down. She's talking to the rest of the group. She goes, "Show me how to make one of those knives you pull out of the air thing. Because you can do that and Cypher can do it. Well, I mean, half of us all can pull a knife from nowhere. Show me how you do that with the fire knife."
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be able to do it, you just have to, like I told Cypher, you just have to really want a knife.
Okay, I really want a knife. And in Peach's hand appears a knife. He goes,
Is Doc here? See, you just... He reaches up and grabs one out of the air and kind of spins it over in his hand.
Peach throws hers up and it disappears. Mine ain't real.
I mean, it'll still, like, cut if you need to cut, right?
Pretty sure I made it up with my imagination. It's just me saying I've got a knife. It's like a prop. I say it's there, so it seems like it's there.
I mean, that can still be useful if you just need to intimidate someone, but if you actually need to cut someone, you have to...
How do you get a real knife?
I mean, you have to really want one. Maybe need one?
Peach does the same motion and pulls out a slightly larger prestidigitated knife. I really want a knife.
I mean, it's more intimidating, but does it actually cut?
No. Peach will toss the prestidigitated knife and she'll pull from her waist belt the pair of shears she has. All right, so this is good enough then, I guess. I can't make a knife from the air like all you can. Why can you all do that?
I mean, you can do it too. You just need to figure out, how much you want a knife. Maybe talk to Cypher. Yeah, because Doc was having trouble as well, but I know she can do it too. So
yeah, I'll keep trying.
Once she does, she'll show me how to do that boomerang thing. It's really cool.
That boomerang thing, I didn't really do that much. It's kind of all flash and bang.
No, did you see it curve through the air?
Yeah,
It would
Ava
have come
hip
all the way
checked me
back
down to
around.
do it.
If it kept going, like if it didn't hit him, it would have come all the way back around. She could have caught it.
And it would have done 3 damage every time.
Still pretty cool.
Easily impressed, Casey.
I just like, cool, thanks. And people, and he kind of turns to everyone and looks around. He's obviously in a happy mood, and grins at everyone, and smiles. So, what are we doing, Ez? Is it done?
Esmond's just kind of like splayed out in a chair, his arms just kind of hanging down, and his eyes are just split as he just looks up at the ceiling.
Just out of character. So it's the 38th day. I don't think... So 20 days from the 26th would be the 46th, but Kabath won't be done with the shield until 6 days after that.
I know that look. It's done, isn't it?
No, I need a...
As testing? Do we
No,
go to one of the portals and test it?
I mean, eventually, yes, but no, it's not done yet. I still need a few more days, or my mom needs a few more days. We're almost done.
I mean, with the lightning dynamite, right?
It's called the door jam.
No, I
You're
can't wait
trying-
to see it. You have to let me know when you're ready to test it.
You are trying to make it so that it opens them as well, right?
It will be able to expand an opening that already exists. I don't currently have the know-how of creating a tear, but it can expand the portals that are already there. Yes.
Good. I told the deep lurker we would help him get home.
Oh, don't worry. That's one promise that
I'm sorry.
wasn't
Wait,
going
no,
to
what?
to break.
You what now?
Wait, hold on. Yeah, what?
I went back to talk to him, to ask some questions. It said some interesting things.
Wait, you speak Abyssal?
No. Wait. Yes. But I think that's not the language you're thinking of.
Is that Infernal? Yes. Primordial? You speak Primordial?
No.
I think you two speak the same language.
I mean, I know she knows a few words, but I didn't.
Lottie, as Casey is talking, you see something move beneath the skin of your forearm. You catch something in the corner of your eye. Movement.
She looks quickly toward the motion.
Still nothing there. Keeps happening.
So you.
She surreptitiously goes out to touch her nose to check and make sure it's not bleeding again. And then just says no, but I thought it put images in, I think, everyone's minds, or at least several people's minds at the end there. So I thought if it could do that, then it could keep doing that. So, and it already had taken some of my thoughts, I think. So I figured it could probably keep doing that too. But, maybe not the rest of it as well. Anyway, that's not the important part. The important part is that it said it came here a long time ago, and I got the impression of thousands of years to search for the rune For
Bless you.
it. She cracks a little bit of a smile at this. It says, it was hard to understand it. I got the impression that it was hard for it to push what I was thinking into the shape of my mind. But I don't know what that was, or if that's the name of its masters that they were looking for. But they couldn't find, I think they didn't find it, or something, and then they kept saying, this is now a trap, or I have to get out of the trap, and there was, it said, the trap is set, and there was images of the tower, and how much of the word for that thing when you put, it's like at the center of things, and if you pull it out, it all falls apart.
Cornerstone. Or
Linchpin.
Yes, both of those work. And then I asked if its master was the Angel of Doors, and it said that they had stolen all of our angels. And then said, your angels. I don't know that we have any angels, but
What was the name of the creature's master again? I didn't hear you when you said it. It kind of. Did you say it again?
I don't rightly know. I think it was like Rune or Hron or Haron. And I asked what it was, but it was very hard to actually figure out what it was telling me. But it gave me images of torment and pain in the darkness down deep, and there was an image of a woman with white hair and a snake or a mermaid's tail, dark skin, maybe other, I don't really know.
I'm going to stop you right there for just 1 second before you go any further. And it's just to say this, while this is extremely useful, helpful information, that was an incredibly dangerous thing you did going off there by yourself. I know I can't change your mind on whether or not you'd do it again, because I'm not that dumb. But just so you're aware. Anyway, carry on. It's a bad idea.
It was a good idea, considering I got some more information, and I figured if it was wanting Esmond to make the thing, to help it to get home. I had been there with them before, and I left my things on the surface so that you would know if you came, I did not come back, then you would know that something had gone wrong there. And I'm sure you could have guessed what I would have done.
Yeah, that's the part that I disagree with, the ending there, with you leaving things behind in case you didn't return. Anyway, moot point, I suppose.
I would like you all to please not reach into the portals with your goddamn arms anymore. You can put a thing through. Casey's using a mirror or some nonsense. All right?
no,
When
he's not.
Casey's got the good ideas, that's the problem.
No, but you have to know. You have to know if it's. You have to know if it's dangerous on the other side. You
Yeah.
have to know
So
if it's.
be like Casey, the smart one in this situation, and put an object through first. What if it was toxic on the other side? What if there's some kind of radiation? What if it was different kind of water and it was acid to your skin, Shalata? You could have died.
Peach,
Yes.
never.
If I just put my hand out, then it was very cold. I don't recommend it. No.
It sounded like Kabeth was talking in there.
I was. Could you not hear me? It's okay. I was kind of whispering. Quebec said, "Oh, Peach, don't say those kind of things. You don't want to give him a bigger ego."
Casey is grinning, but mostly at Shalati. Just
Casey stuck his hand in.
Casey, you stuck your hand in too?
See, you're in trouble now too.
Sal
Oh,
puts
Rhea, did you?
Yes.
Sal puts a
Right.
hand on
But
Peach's
after
shoulder.
he did, so I knew it was okay.
Peach,
Allows Salander to calm her.
busting Adam's just gonna make him do more.
No, but we talked to the people on the horizon. Sort of. Lux code. Is it talking? Do you say I talked with Lux? We transmitted.
What
What
did
do
they
you
say?
Horizon.
What do you mean?
Highly dubious answers. Like it seems not really important for this. You were gonna talk about other things.
No, because Aya said that, or Sal, Shalati said the fish said some things. What are you and what are you and Casey getting through the other portal? If we're getting all messages, we should share them with one another.
She looks to Casey. Well, you were doing the talking.
I mean, I would like to hear more about Shalati and the fish.
Yes.
Yeah,
Probably
let's hear
after
from the
one-
whole class. Everyone.
One more round of Hakeem and or tea for everyone as we move on to the next steps of this meeting, which is spinning wildly out of control. Sal says as he starts pouring into people's cups.
Yes, coffee sounds like a good idea. I'll go make some more Hakeem.
Ashes. Oh no, you stay there. I made some. Put some.
Yeah, one here as well.
So, wait, what are we here for?
Well, now Shalati and Casey are going to tell us what all they saw through those different communication-y things. And then I suppose you and Ez are going to update on all your projects and things. And I'm going to learn all of the dangerous things you all try to do to risk your own lives, despite the fact that we're the only able-bodied persons left in the town.
That's not true.
Yeah,
Also, I just
training's going
remembered.
pretty well.
And I just remembered there was another image of some tall, sort of humanoid-looking kinds of beings, but they had purple skin and tentacles for mouths instead. They didn't feel good. I don't know how they were related to Adol, but they were part of the bundle.
My
No.
forge talked to me.
What?
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 Quebec?
Well, I I packed up the entire workshop for the night, and I put the fire down, and I went to bed, and then in the middle of the night, I heard the sound of the anvil clanging, and I was like, I'm just tired, I'm having a dream, I'm sure, and then, but no, I really heard it, and then I got up, and when I went into the workshop, there was nobody there, but the forge was hot, like somebody had been working. Well, I mean, it could have been a little hotter. It was a little cool for most of my work, but that's beside the point. It was definitely hotter than when I left for bed, and then I swear, it wasn't the sound of the bellows. I swear the fire was breathing, and I'm pretty sure it told me that it wanted more.
Did you feed it?
Yeah, did you?
Oh no, it was the middle of the night. I told it we had to go to sleep, but I put it out for the night and I went to bed. Duh.
You put it out? Like,
Yeah. I mean, why would I? Don't.
Yeah, you feed a fire, you burn a house down, already. Of course you put it out. Beth, you're a smart girl.
no, but what? No, but no. We should go talk to your guard.
Did it talk to you again after that, or did you kill it?
Yeah.
It's probably dead. Sounds like she killed it.
Oh, well, I hope not. I mean, I got work to do. There's orders to fill and things. But no, I mean, I think it whispered that it wanted more to me, but I told it very nicely that we had to go to sleep for the night, and that the next day that I would fire it back up again, and I did. It's probably fine.
Beth, is this the first time the fire has talked to you, or is this an ongoing friendship that you have with the fire, and this is not necessarily unusual to you?
Well, I like to think after our very contentious childhood relationship that over time we've grown very affectionate for each other, and together we make wonderful things now.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Is this the first time it's spoken to you in a way that you understood it as goddamn words?
I mean, I think so, but maybe I just wasn't listening hard enough before, and I don't know. Everything's changed. I have magic now. I can heal things and stuff. I don't know, and like all my magic is very forge related. So maybe the forge and I just needed to bond a little more before me to be able to hear it.
There's nothing.
Maybe it's related to your cursed item you uncovered from the mines.
Oh, you think so?
I mean, there's
I
nothing.
have no idea. Master throwing everything else into the fire. Might as well add that in too.
How are you all doing? Those of you who, Quebec, are you holding up all right? And she kind of like peeks around at wherever Ava is. And, Ava, are you okay? How have you all been the past couple of days?
Ava shrugs and gives a thumbs up.
I mean,
Your
as
besties-
fine as
you're staying fed?
normal. Nothing new to. I mean, everything's a crisis all the time, but here it's fine.
Anybody else have any things to share before we get on to the portal closing / expansion?
Casey and Araya finished their story about the Lux Code. What was the message you all got back? Because I think I interrupted you all when I was praising Casey for his good thinking under pressure.
Oh, it's Casey.
Casey, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Whoa.
The
Casey
Riz
told-
maidens are on the other side of the portal, across the desert. They might be in trouble. We'll have to go help them. But they've been there a couple of weeks, so they should be okay for a little bit longer while we take care of some other things around here.
What
They're
makes you
sending mixed messages.
messages? What?
Well, in Lux Code, you see, Albina, the priestess, who's the closest to my age, is that we get along really well, and so we had these things that we would say to each other
What?
and she mentioned it. It's just that she also, when we said if they needed, like, how can we help, they said to come, and then we said, well, why don't you come home? And they say all. It's just.
What did they say?
Are you sure it was Albina? Did you
Well,
get her
when
to
we asked
confirm
the
her name?
names, yeah, no, Casey was really thoughtful and asked, who is it? And it said Albina, and using words that Albina would tell to me, except that if you asked somebody if they needed help, why would you say all are welcome here, come here, like, and then if you say, it's suspicious, but I think that I can't know for sure that they're not in need of help without going.
Did
I'm worried
you
that
ask them something only they would know?
out of character, I said something. I don't know. I don't think we transmitted that. No, but I was thinking that maybe I would. What if it just sends back what I want to hear and not. What if it's like a trick?
I mean, I think
Well, I mean,
either
I
way,
would-
we have to go check it out.
Well, I mean, that's fair, but like, for all the things we have to do, we can't do that anytime soon, right? Like, we have all the other things we have to do. So, like, we can talk about it and think about sending messages, and you can tell us more about what was said, and we can, like, write it down and try to decipher it or something, maybe. But, like, we have to help the fish thing, and then the other stuff, right?
Speaking
we
of
have people.
the
We have people at the temple now. Can someone not have the duty of sitting there and sending a message every day or so, once or twice a day, and see what they send back?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
speaking of the fish thing, Shalati, that said trap too, right? Trap, something trapped.
It said the trap is set, and now it goes home or it dies.
You all, I don't
It
have a good
doesn't.
feeling about this.
It's all shit.
Esmond, how does the thing you're doing work anyway?
For the past couple of minutes, Esmond has been doing that thing where you're in school and you like have your hands on your desk and your eyes are closed, like you're trying to pay attention, but your head just keeps.
Shalati picks up the Hakim pot and pulls a mug over, pours one out, and pushes it toward him.
Shalati, as you pour the Hakim to the cup, for just a moment, there's something swimming in it.
Hand instinctively goes up to her nose again to catch anything that may be falling, and she just pushes it over quickly.
You catching a cold or something? Just a quick aside. Neva asked.
She just shrugs back and then sniffs experimentally, as if to test and really just trying to hide if there's anything trickling down.
Okay, Esmond, like, drink that and talk.
Yeah, the door jam's nearly done. A few more days, I think. It's not perfect. It's depending on the output that you set it to, there is a chance of it destroying itself. But unfortunately, there's no way for me to work around that particular aspect of it. The higher the output, the greater the chance of it self-destructing. So we're looking at a 25% chance of it destructing on the lower output, and maybe as high as 75% on one of the higher outputs. But each level releases roughly enough energy to close or open these tears. Takes about a minute to charge, and then another minute to reboot after a charge is released.
How close do you have to be?
It has to be right on the thing, and then anyone within 20 feet, maybe, it risks potentially being caught in the blast of the charge.
How is it triggered?
Chris, I actually don't know if I have that one. Is it triggered remotely, or is a timer set for it?
You could do timer, or you could do it manually. Your choice.
It can be triggered from... we can set a timer, or it can be triggered from a short distance away.
No, you could either push the button on it or use a clockwork to.
Understood. Okay. Rephrase. A timer can be set for it to go off, or it can be set to go off immediately. But either way, somebody has to set the timer or activate it.
So, okay, you press the button, and then a short time later, or right away, it goes off, and then it'll either open or close something, and it opens or closes it to a degree based on how powerful you set it for, and the more powerful it is, the more likely it is to just blow itself up.
That's it.
Will it still work if it blows itself up after? I mean, like, for that time?
I mean, well, those are great odds.
No,
She
Casey,
does-
those are not good.
I'm getting a sense of great approval from the universe somehow.
Are you asking if it would still open or close a portal if it exploded on itself?
I'm asking, you put it next to a portal and you push the button. Does it still work for that moment? Does it explode before it does anything for the portal? Or does it explode after it does something for the portal?
I'm not really designing it to release energy before it erupts. I think we might need to leave that one up to fate.
I just have a good feeling that it'll actually be effective if it blows up. I don't know. Something inside me.
It'll definitely do something if it blows up.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt it's going to work, even if it blows up. And if we need it to blow up, then we can make it blow up.
Well, okay, for the portal, the first one we're talking about doing, okay, just for example, the one underwater is a small charge enough to open it the way it needs to be opened.
Based on the size of the deep lurker, I wouldn't think so. It would probably require a greater charge to open it, or a series of smaller charges to get it to the appropriate size before the deep lurker could fit through.
So we can't do it then. Like, we need more time. We're not ready.
No, it'll be able to do it. I need a few more days or Gwen, my mom, needs a few more days to wrap it up. Yeah, but it'll be able to open or close portals. It's just a matter of, setting the appropriate charge. Will we open it in one blast, or will it require a series of smaller blasts?
Well, it's the same. It's the same difference, though, right? If it's 25% for a small charge and it requires multiple, then isn't that about the same? 25% each time for multiple times, the same as like 75% for one. So it's like, mathematically about the same. And okay, let's pretend it even works the first time. If you said it takes an entire minute to like reset, what happens if like you open it and then the creature, because I don't really trust it that much. It tried to make me jump off a cliff. Like, it's not nice. And like, if it tried to trick us or something, we talked about trying to close it, but we wouldn't be able to, especially if it like blew up, right?
Based on what Shalati has told us on her interaction with it, and based on my own gut feelings, I don't think that this thing is attempting to trick us.
And if it does go for a double cross, we just wail on it again. This time we don't stop.
What if another one like it comes through? And we can't wail on it. How would we wail on it? Last time we did it by like being able to be underwater. We can't even do that again, can we?
We wouldn't be able to do it again, no. Okay.
We didn't even wail on it. Casey did most of the wailing on it, honestly.
I distracted all the other sharks.
If the creature intends to trick us, and this is something I've thought about already, if it intends to trick us and I open the portal and it starts to try and lead something through, or it tries to pull something on us at the very end, I can be near the portal and I can use my own lightning abilities to, not as effectively, but begin closing it as quickly as I can to reduce the chances of anything getting through.
But Vethrine also said he'd like to come along this time to provide backup in case it does go sideways.
Yeah, and I talked to it as you talked to Shalati talked to it. I think we know what we're dealing with here. It just wants to get back home, so.
It wants to get back home, and it is extremely dangerous and extremely intelligent. I don't think we should take that for granted, as Ava is pointing out.
So are we.
It's
Well, fair.
we when we do this, we go with the intention of doing as it asked, as that is the deal that we've struck. We open the portal enough for it to get through, and we close it as soon as it passes through. If anything happens, we will be ready to make sure that we all make it back here.
We don't want to go through to the other side. It's too cold. So anything that comes through, we have to face on this side, if anything does.
I got a question. I got a question. Wait, so if it can eat our minds, does it mean it can also like read our minds and know that if it does something that we don't like, that we're gonna take away its plan of getting through? Won't it know?
I think
Probably.
that it's intelligent enough to realize that we're going to come up with backup plans. Similarly, it will probably come up with its own backup plans if we were to betray it.
I'm not going to betray it. If we don't help it, then
I struck a deal with this thing. I intend to keep my end of the bargain.
her shoulders are starting to stiffen up at the suggestion that they might betray it, and then she relaxes.
I don't want to betray it. I just think that, I mean, Esmond, just do the math. If it's 75% chance fail rate, that's a 25% success. If you try doing that multiple times, the odds are really bad. Even if Casey doesn't know math.
Casey quickly grabs a tomato off of the table and tosses it at Doc.
Duck!
She catches it in the air. It just sort of stops.
What was that?
What would you throw a tomato? She throws it back.
Casey catches it. See? I mean, what were the odds of that?
About
Less
this,
than 25, huh?
about this time, you realize that Bryony, Seyfried's younger sister, quite younger, is kind of standing at the side of the table, and she's pulled her little bonnet down, and she's wearing it between her hands. She's looking at each of you, and her ears are twitching, and she's kind of chewing. I'm like, not sure if rabbits have lips, but you know what I mean.
Yes, Brownie.
She kind of opens her mouth a little bit, like she's trying to say something. It's taking her a minute. She finally says, "Egg."
Oh! Sal jumps up
Egg?
and starts running towards the forge.
Yep, I'm right behind you.
Sal gets up and runs out of the tavern. Gabath quickly behind.
Is it a code
Shalate
word?
also behind.
Oh, no, it's the egg.
Oh,
Like the big egg.
Oh,
big one.
shit.
I am at full sprint. I am going to use all of my run fast ability to get there fast.
Sal feels very slow.
Shalate is doing her best as well, which is not as much as Kibeth. Maybe more than Sal, unless he uses his speed magic.
Nah, he'll keep pace with you.
Everyone who wants to go goes dashing from the room. Gabath certainly in the lead, spilling out toward the smithy. Just raise your hand real quick if you're going. Tap your transmit.
Yep, going.
Yeah, I think I'll go.
Oh, okay. So before too long, everyone spilled into the forge. You can see that the egg is there, all brightly decorated. It's got a scarf wrapped around it. It's gotten colder now. Later in the autumn. There's a twitch on the egg, and all of the satyr and bunny eyes go wide. They're all at the edges of the room looking. So crack goes along the side of the egg.
Shalati readies the net.
There's another wiggle from the egg.
We have any food?
Are you
Meat.
kidding? Who are you asking?
I've got some meat pie.
We really should have turned this thing back, put this thing back in the portal. We really should not have this thing here.
But then we'd miss this.
There's another crack.
Desmond Clockright, you have no sense of the wonders of nature.
No, I don't. I deal with machinery.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Poppy's great.
Peach fumbles in her little snack pouch and produces a small hand pie.
Shalati is going to I actually assume they know each other pretty well, so she might know where like all the raw goods in Kibet's pantry is.
I think everybody knows where all the food in Beth's house is at this point, because at some point, if you've stopped by, she's asked you to get her a snack.
Shalati runs into to raid Kibet's pantry for meat.
You hear Kibet's voice shout, "The good stuff's under my bed!"
Peach
There's like
kind of-
there's a little box you can pull out that just says Kibet snacks do not touch, and inside is like the best meat jerky she's got.
Peach elbows Salinger. I think this is Aranaka in the pie. Is it like bad to feed Aranakas to an Aranaka?
Don't overthink it. We have no idea anything about these creatures, really.
All right, as long as you say so. You're the, I don't know, because you got Poppy and all. You're the expert.
We can say that the jerky is fish jerky.
Saber Tiger Sharky.
Casey
Another-
leans over to Ez.
Okay, good.
We taught Poppy how to spit acid and teleport. This one's gonna be awesome too.
That's it. Just
There's another jostling of the egg and a crack, and you see a claw come through, tear at the egg a bit, and then it's weak, trembling, like just on the edge of being born. The claw drags through the egg a bit, opening it, and then kind of retracts back inside the egg. There's another jostling of the egg, more cracks run through it. You see a bit of the goo and membrane clinging as it pushes against the inside. It happens again, but it's a little weaker this time. It happens again, but it's a little weaker.
Beth is gonna try to like walk over and like see if she can like pull a piece of the egg.
Prey on the egg. Lay on egg.
Guidance to be born.
You got this.
Has guidance on this creature.
Just another little jostling crack runs along the bottom edge.
Egg can have a bardic inspiration too. Add a d6 to whatever it's doing.
Esmond is pulling out his wand and he's just going to point it at the egg.
To be clear, there's lots of hammers all over the shop, just in case anybody needs something.
It can make it out.
So as this creature struggles to be born, what do each of you do?
Sal would fold his arms and say, "It has to do it on its own. It has to."
Oh, but we can encourage it. Come on. And then Peach will kind of coo to the egg and sing little songs. Come on, little Arnaka. You can be born. That'll give the bardic inspiration toward it.
Beth has been like gently like pulling pieces of egg away, like very carefully, and she's kind of like,
They don't always, Shalati sighs the salad. They don't always come out right. It's good to give it the chance to come out on its own and do what it's supposed to do, but sometimes things don't happen right. Can help it if it looks like it's having trouble.
Yeah.
And like Charlotte is basically just waiting with like the meat to one side and a net in the hand the other, and just waiting to see if it looks like its struggles are waning or if it looks like it's getting the job done.
I'd like each of you to roll either charisma or wisdom as you encourage the egg.
Like a saving throw, Chris, or a straight check?
Ability check. If you are genuinely intervening with magic, let me know.
Well, I mean, I'm the guidance, but like just a general prayer maiden style.
Yeah, I am actually using a bardic inspiration, but I'm giving it to the creature in the egg.
I'm whispering to it. Come on, little one. Hear the sound of my voice. She's been reading to it for a while, so.
Chris, did you want me to roll as well? I'm literally just pointing a wand at this thing.
If you're not actually doing anything, you don't have to. Let's see. Ooh, 20. Wait, those are 15, 14, 13. Ooh, 21 from Peach. 19 from Salinger. Let's see, it's getting a bardic inspiration and guidance, right? What is your bardic inspiration die? D6.
D6.
It was a 13. Gave it advantage based on your roll. Plus 3, plus 2. For a total of 18. The egg goes still for a moment. And then there's a surge forward, cracking up along the side. You see all of the crayon decorations that have been cast all along the side of it begin to break apart. You see long strands of the membrane and goo pulled off, and as the egg splits open, out falls a woman about your age, reptilian in nature, feathers all down, hair like feathers all down her back and flaring off of her elbows, slitted, eyes blinking in confusion, claws on her hands, 2 long claws coming off her elbows. She sprawls in all of the muck and the eggshell on the floor. The forge.
Kebeth jumps back, by the way. She was standing next to it. She has jumped back. She is grabbing a blanket and clutching it tight.
Is Araya close enough that she could, like, catch the person falling to the floor out of an egg?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sal would immediately take his coat or cloak off and rush over as well.
This is awesome.
The slitted golden eyes blink a few times and then blink and close and falls asleep peacefully.
I tuck my blanket around her and I whisper, "Welcome to the world."
Charlotte puts up a hand and says, "Excuse me, but what the fuck?"
And that's where we'll end for tonight.
Who's Arnakas?
What are
Chocobo racing. Can
what
wait.
are the odds of that, Doc?
So what does this young woman look like? Does she look like is she like a dragonborn, or is she more birdish? Is she
Like a harpy?
or a corcra? Like
Humanoid, kind of reptilian, feathers very much like an Arnakas.
But humanoid Arnakas. It's because we've messed with the birth cycle.
Aranakas born.
The fuck did we
We've
Wait, so does she-
imprinted in the egg.
We imprisoned
Does she have
Oh
a
no, we made it human. Oh shit, it's like one of the. Oh god, Kate has theories, but I will hold them.
Does she have a human face or like a reptilian head but on a humanoid body?
Yeah, what's her face look like?
Reptilian features is kind of hybrid. So humanoid-ish, but with distinct reptilian sort of.
An Argonian style?
Little slightly more on the human side. Yeah,
How big is this? Like a full-grown human?
yeah, about your age.
Okay.
Right, but there's a variety of sizes. Are we talking like dog size?
Medium,
Or talking
medium,
fowl size?
medium creature.
That's still a big difference.
Still a big spread.
I'm stoked.
We haven't
I,
seen her
for
standing
one,
yet.
fascinating.
Find out
welcome
this-
our new best friend.
Me too.
New best
I love
friend!
her already.
New best friend dibs.
Are you adding another player to the campaign? Is that what this is? Don't mess with me.
Surprise entry of someone. Next
Yeah,
time.
that would be
Someone who's been waiting for
That would
6
be wild,
weeks
yeah.
for an
This-
egg to hatch in game as we take forever.
This is probably as good a time as any to say that Esmond is actually going to be stepping away from the campaign for a little bit.
Jumping in as lizard person.
You left
Not-
so many ships unsailed.
The pressure of all the ships was getting to him.
Kevin, I know where you
He's
He's like, I
live.
can't possibly fulfill all of
Come
these.
for you.
Kevin's becoming lizard.
Although you playing a lizard chick, I'm not opposed.
You can play both of them. You continue with both.
Yeah, it is proven that you can have conversations with yourself, and you do quite well with it.
They would never interact. They would hate each other.
Also, one side you can maybe just do hisses all the time, so it's a lot easier.
Hey. We don't say that about you, okay?
Yeah,
I do hisses like half the time.
Out of character, Kate is really interested to see how Shalati reacts to this. Like, Peach in her own mind is like, okay, I don't want to sound racist.
Oh,
But do you know each other?
way more,
No. But,
way more dinosaur than.
oh, okay, because I'm like, we already have like a lizard-esque friend a little bit.
I'm a
Immediately.
snake, excuse me.
Yeah,
I don't have
immediately
feathers.
turns
Ask,
to Ava
ask.
and is like,
Reptile.
okay, it
Reptile's
never occurred to me to ask before, but how are each of you born? I don't know about me.
I don't
Oh.
know about me.
From giant
Come
eggs.
from an egg?
Oh, wow. Araya, we have so much to discuss.
Birds and
Things-
bees.
Hey,
Things
Doc,
not taught at the temple.
Doc,
My mom
where-
always just said
where do
really
humans
rude
come
things
from?
about human man.
Well, wintertime is when the sheep rut, so I can take you out to the pastures in just like a month
But
or two.
sheep don't
give you an
lay
education.
eggs.
I never liked the word rut. It's so crass.
What do you
The
prefer,
animal
Salinger?
Salinger.
The sheep is making love.
Hey, according to
Not
Esmond,
worse.
according to Esmond and Araya, kids just show up in baskets on the doorstep.
Girl, yeah.
Oh, seriously,
just
how many
show
basket kids do we have?
You got 3 basket kids. No, 2.
Was Casey a basket?
who's your mom?
Casey's a basket kid.
I thought Casey was also a basket kid.
No,
Casey's a
not
basket
kid.
case. It's not a basket kid.
Oh, okay.
I have a mom. You guys have met my mom.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Casey's mom's
Well,
also
we met Esmond's mom too, and she didn't bear him.
Yeah, just because my parents are goblins doesn't mean that they didn't give birth to me. I came from an egg.
I mean, my mom is a Goliath, but it's
Uh-huh.
neither here nor there.
So I've been looking forward to us running into intelligent races from other dimensions. This whole time, I hope that's what's happening. I mean, like, not that giant deep lurker isn't intelligent,
I'm
but he don't
guessing
seem friendly.
This is like an Arnakis pureblood.
I'm wondering
The
if
more
it's
human
like
Oh, wait. Remember
if it's like the aliens
lizard person
movies.
from before the hint? The thing that we didn't witness but exists?
Oh yeah, the footprints. from the
Do her
portal.
feet look like they're the
Oh
tracks?
yeah, those
Yes.
footprints.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Ah.
I don't think Charlotte would think of it at this moment, but
Oh shit! This is
Oh.
like
Good to
the
know later.
sentient. This is like the sentient type of people, and like the poppies are like the beasts.
We've
They're
definitely killed
cuckoos.
a child.
oh no, I don't want to think of what that mating process
Uh-oh.
looked like.
Also, she's gonna get so big.
All right, folks,
Maybe.
I gotta call it. Good night.
Night.
Good night.
Night. Great session.
I'm imagining the reptites from Chrono Trigger.
Chris, I'm sorry. Did you say that the footprints in Kibeth's workshop looked like the feet on this thing that was just born? Did I hear that?
No, the footprints by the portal in the forest.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes me feel better. Thank you. I was like, did the egg hatch and go back in?
Somebody answer this for me. Just because I confirmed earlier with Patrick, but I just want to make sure that we're both correct. Did we level up at the end of this session?
Woo!
Ooh.
At least according to my counting.
Yeah, level 6.
Oh man, that's a big deal.
That is a very big deal. Things are about to get very weird.
Level 6?
Mm-hmm.
I finally get my first
I'm still-
subclass.
Oh yeah, because you tripled. I might have 2. I haven't decided what to do. I have to consult the chart.
I know exactly what I'm going to do. I've had it planned out for ages now, and I'm so excited for everybody to see what happens next.
I was glad you asked at the end of the session so we can give Jess at least 1 week so she knows and doesn't keep getting surprised the night of. Like, wait, what?
Yeah. Should we remind
real.
like once a day?
Very thoughtful.
Yeah.
She's been level 3 this whole time.
Oh man, I totally forgot something Sal was supposed to say at the end of that meeting because of the egg hatching. I'll have to bring that up next time.
Yeah, this was an odd. I did not expect things to go this direction. I was like, oh, cool, we got all this stuff, and like we'll just. But nope. The egg hatching kind of definitely was not expected.
Yeah, really good flow disruption there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, had fun.
Oh, I know what happened. This was because of Esmond's speech where he's like, I don't want to be a leader. Chris is like, all right, I guess I gotta make the egg. New leader.
Hatched my master.